And I have to say, on behalf of Taiwanese baseball fans, we are so happy, we're so glad, and it is really our honor to have you here. And we got Ryan here. He's very professional, and he will make sure that we can fully understand the life experience and baseball philosophy that you share. Okay, so let's get started. 好，我们现在就来进行访问。好了，那一开始我就 like to say hello to everyone here.
I definitely would love to say hello. I mean, hello everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
各位早。好，那我们马上就要来进入到今天的访谈。那今天的访谈当然有非常多的内容，所以我们先要来讲一下，就是他在年轻的时候，因为大家都知道说他一开始是踢足球，然后巴拿马那边他一度想要成为就是足球巨星，像比利这样子的。那这个一开始的时候是踢足球，后来选择了打棒球。但现在他有更大的一些目标，在退休之后，那现在人生这个阶段，他的目标是什么？
Well, I mean, first of all, I wanted to start saying thank you. Thank you for having me. And it's a privilege and honor for me to be here in your presence. Are you translating that one? Okay. So, I mean, again, it's a privilege and honor. So, being here for me is a dream come true, and dreams can happen, guys. So that's wonderful.
首先呢，他很荣幸可以来到台湾，然后在各位的面前分享。然后他说可以到国外的确是他的梦想。然后他接着会解释为什么梦想对他自己而言那么重要。
I want to start saying that I wanted to be a football player, not a baseball player. Although I played baseball, but I wanted to be like Pelé.
他也原本棒球跟足球都有去参与中，但他原先的目标当然是像比利的足球巨星。
In 2014, I went to the World Cup, football World Cup in Brazil, and I met Pelé for the first time. And I talked to him and I told him, Pelé, I wanted to be like you, you know, I mean, but my talent wasn't good enough to be a soccer player like you. And then he says, ironic because I wanted to be a baseball player like you are, but my abilities weren't good enough.
在14的世界杯的时候，他其实有机会去跟 Pelé 面对面的自我介绍，然后结果他们互相交流，就说他们其实Rivera 想要当足球巨星，然后 Pelé 小时候自己想要当棒球巨星，但刚刚好他们想要的运动没有那么高的天分。
What I do now is that I'm involved. I mean, I play 19 years in professional baseball, and what I do now is being with the family. I mean, when you play baseball, you play any sport, you're always away from the family and sacrificing for the well-being of the family, first of all, and then the game of baseball.
那他现在在退休的时间有个很大的重点，就是要陪家人。因为当职业选手的时候，不管什么运动，你都会跟家人在有一点距离，因为毕竟要专注在自己的专业上，或是像职业的球员可能会跑到为了比赛跑去各种地方，所以为了去养活自己的家人。
So now I spend time with the family, working with the foundation, doing some business, and also with the community. So in that, I don't have time to do nothing else. But the importance about that is that I always wanted to work with the youth and make sure that I can teach them or pass anything that I can use to make them better.
那他在退休除了陪家人，还有一些旁边的事业，但是他现在另外一个专注的地方是在他的基金跟去培养去年轻人，去启发他们的梦想。
So take advantage of this morning, especially the youth here. Question that you want to ask or anything that you want to ask. If I can give you the answer, I will gladly will do it. If not, we find the answer and give it back when I come back here.
所以他就是要鼓励年轻的选手们、年轻人，如果有机会问他问题，他会尽量去回答。然后如果这次达不到，他就会约下次的机会再度来到台湾。
Yeah, so when Morris brought me back, I give him an answer.
好，这个真的我们很期待了，就是说他会再次来台湾，但我们要把握这一次，包括像是今天的分享会，另外呢，还有就是明天他要到这个我们对巴拿马的这个首战来进行开球。那当然，讲到身为一个职业棒球员，我觉得大家一定都很想知道的就是他到场上去投球的时候，有没有什么样的这个 routine， 就是说他有没有什么样的准备方式？再来就是他怎么样在投手球上面去释放他的 pressure， 他的压力。这个我相信，对于很多台湾的选手，其实都需要知道这种大投手是怎么样去做准备，怎么样去克服的。
Okay. Yes. When I was playing, I have a routine. Yes, I did. Make sure that I can mentally and physically prepare for that day. For example, I used to come to the game, to the ballpark around 2 o'clock in the afternoon for a 7:05 or 7:30 game. And then make sure that whatever I had to do, either shoulder or elbow program, I had to make sure that I did that.
那他说，在7点或7点半晚上的比赛，他一定会2点钟到球场。他说，他的确需要心理跟身体上做自己的准备，包括手肘或是肩膀一些活动。
And after that, I made sure that I was ready for practice. After practice, I finished, had something to eat, and then jump into the hot tub. And then after the hot tub, I got massage. For 19 years, every day massage. So making sure that I was loose, my arm and my whole body was ready to perform. And then in the first inning, while I was getting massage, I was paying attention. I always made sure that wherever we were getting the massage, I have a TV available so I can watch the game.
Alright， 那他说到他的自己赛前的 routine， 当然是有自己的热身、球队练球，然后当然需要泡热澡，然后当然需要按摩，然后他说一个关键是，他按摩的时候绝对要有一个电视看当下的比赛。
So after that, I made sure that I was paying attention to every hitter that the starter were facing. In the 5th inning, I was ready, dressed, walking out in the bottom of the 5th inning to the bullpen to talk to the guys and make sure that the guys in the bullpen was ready and relaxed. So when they have to take part of the game, they do their job. And then after that, I was ready. I started training. I started stretching again in the 7th inning. So maybe I had to come into the game in the 8th inning or for sure the 9th inning.
那他其实说到棒球是团队运动，所以在5局下的时候，他会到达牛棚，然后会开始跟牛棚的队友们、投手们会去聊当下的比赛，让他们也会准备好。那所以在7局的时候，他自己会开始伸展，以准备好，也许8局就进来，但的确就是准备好第9局的表现。
Yeah, so I have to make sure 2 things that I did, like I mentioned before. I had to be mentally prepared and physically prepared. So, but mentally is the most important game for me. Because physically, you never feel 100%. You always feel 95, 96%, but never 100%. But mentally, I always was 100%. Because I don't want to make mistakes, mental mistakes. I can make physical mistakes, but no mental mistakes. And I make sure that I knew that every day for 19 years.
那他说，你球员的身体永远不会是100%的状况，但他为了准备比赛的竞争，心理上是不能有瑕疵的，所以在他准备当中也是觉得这是一个很大的重点，所以 就会花在他自己本身会对竞争的心理层面会比较有一点对自我需求。
There's a lot of pressure when you close the games. I used to have an afro, okay, but as the year went by, I started losing my hair because of the pressure. It wasn't because it was easy, it was just a lot amount of pressure, but that was amazing.
他在开玩笑说，他年轻的时候想要披一个大的头发，但是因为比赛当终结者的压力很大，所以头发自然的就会掉。
But one thing that I did was that I enjoy the game, that I love the game, that I was passionate for the game, and I gave my best to the game.
那他最后的分享是他对运动、对棒球是有热爱的，然后所以他这个投入就是19年来一直维持这种。
好，所以这个大家就是要知道说，一个超级大投手的压力，首先头发要先顾好，好，这个大家可能在未来可能会碰到的，如果你是选手的话。但不管怎么样啊，我觉得大家在场上的表现的确让我们觉得说，非常的难得能够有这么杰出的一个方式。那其实他也在访谈当中不断的讲到去帮助年轻的球员，对不对？所以我们就要来谈一下他在这个之前其实也提及过，包括像是中国信托这个慈善基金会做的事情，跟他自己的Rivera Foundation， 他所谓有一个 Safe 653的这个计划。那主要就是提供像包括像教育啊一些协助给年轻的朋友，我们想要请他来谈一下，这个对于不管是这个台湾或者是美国、巴拿马，甚至全球喜欢棒球的年轻学子，其实可能是都需要帮助的。我们来请他谈一下这个的理念。
Okay. Yes. Yes. The Mariano Rivera Foundation, we love to help others. Before I retired, way before, in 1998, my wife and I, we formed the Mariano Rivera Foundation. Why a foundation? Because I believe in education. I believe that every young boy, male, female, have the opportunity or have the necessity to finish education. Why is that? Because I played sport for my whole career, not 24 years professional, but I always played sport since I remember 6 years old.
那他说，在他球员的时代就已经跟太太已经去创造一个基金，然后他基金当然的目标是为了年轻人。然后他说他的虽然职棒有19年，但他一生都有运动。但他虽然讲到运动，他也同时觉得教育是非常重要的，每个人都需要达到某一种程度的教育。
I understand the value of education because as a professional player, we have something or we have an enemy called injuries. Anything can happen in any given moment to whoever. It can be the best player or the worst player. It doesn't matter. That can happen to anyone. And injuries sometimes are these ones that you will never play again the game of baseball or whatever it is you're playing. But with education, you can get hurt. You even can lose a leg or an arm, but you continue to learn and be able to produce or provide for your family that you're going to have. Okay, so for me, that's so critical and important that I always teach the boys, the youngsters, that no matter what talent do you have to finish education because that is the foundation of everything.
他说，在运动当中，任何的人最好到最没有成绩的球员，都有可能任何时间会有一个大伤势，让他永远没有继续他的球员生涯。但是每一个人都可以达到某一个程度的教育，可以帮自己的家人去有所贡献。
I'll give you an example. How I believe in education. My son was drafted for the New York Yankees, but he has 1 year left to finish college. And he asked me, Dad, what I do? I said, what do you mean what you do? You know the answer of that. you have to finish education, you have to finish college, and then you sign professional baseball. But it's not acceptable for me not for you to finish college and then play professional because that's no guarantee.
他说自己本身的经验是有自己的儿子开始有一些经验，就是自己被洋基队选中，但是他还是有1年的大学还没有读完，所以当他跟父亲在聊的时候，父亲就说这个选择就是对他们来讲是应该很明显，把书先读完，再去尝试一个棒球的生涯。
In the big leagues, I saved 652 saves. And we have a project now called 653 save. The 653 save will consist in building a learning center. Why a learning center? Again, education. Placing or create opportunity for the youngsters to be able to accomplish their dream. I was sharing with the folks before, and I was saying that before I signed professional baseball, someone were pointing fingers at me, telling me that I wasn't good enough for anything, to accomplish anything. And I took that seriously. And I said, I want to do whatever it takes within my power to be the mouth, the hands, the feet of those that don't have voices, those that society reject. I want to be their voices. Until today, I have accomplished that, but I haven't finished.
然后他讲到，除了基金以外，去延续的是他的一个作业 project， 叫做653个救援，因为他生涯就是652个救援。然后这个 project 一个中心就是为了创造一个教育中心，因为他说他小时候有被批评过，就是在球员的生涯走不远。那他想说，世界上有很多小孩子们可能被批评，可能被排斥，所以他想要去为他们去声援，去给他们一些机会。当然，教育中心就是延续教育的一点。
652 games saved, but there were games. Okay, I went home and winning or losing, I was fine with it. Not with losing, for sure, but 653 will be saving life. 653 means creating and having opportunity for the youngsters that we believe are the future of this world.
那他说，比赛的胜负跟自己的救援数字的确是当一个竞争者很重要，但是他的653个救援是为了去拯救一些人的生命，然后所以这变成他自己的一个使命。
So that's why we have in the foundation for just to help others, not for me, but just to help others, so the others can have opportunity to be successful.
主要就是要给大家其他人一些机会，去在他们的人生中做一个成功的例子。
好，这段真的是非常的重要，不管是现在还是学生的这个球员们呢，或者是说当父母的教练们呢，其实你都是可以这样子告诉我们的下一代，包括告诉自己，教育是Mr. Mariano Rivera 所非常强调的事情。那希望说我们在打球之余，一定要把书念好，把教育完成，包括他自己的儿子被职业球队洋基队选中，他都还是要他完成大学，然后再去打职业的比赛。好，那最后一个呢，我们来聊一下好了，应该是有非常多的东西可以跟我们年轻的球员来 share， 就是包括他自己的书里面呢，其实也有提到，有可能你在某一场比赛或是某一天，你的人生出现了一个非常巨大的转变。那如果你想要当一个好球员，甚至变成一个顶级的球员的时候，你该怎么样去准备自己？真正的职业球员该怎么样去把自己再准备好？不是像他所说的，就是每场比赛前面去按摩啊，去放松啊，就这样去投好比赛，一定要不断的练习。那他怎么样给年轻的球员建议，去成为一个真正顶尖的职业选手？
Well, I mean, there are so many objectives or things that if we allow them to hurt us, they're gonna hurt us. For example, I became the New York Yankees closer in 1997. In the previous year, 1996, we won the championship. So, and I was a big part of the pitching staff. Then 97, I became the New York Yankees closer. And I have no clue what was happening because I was trying to do so good. And it seems like the harder I tried, the worse was happening. In terms of work. In terms of work.
哦，他说他在1996年是参与到世界大赛的冠军的洋基队，然后隔一年他就是上任到终结者，但是不知道为什么在第一年的当终结者的时候，他越努力，但是好像球场上的表现没有表现出来。
There are adversities that happens while you play as an athlete. One thing that you have to understand and you have to believe is that the Lord gives you a talent, and that talent is good enough to be successful. Most of the time, we take so much time working in our weaknesses, which is good, don't get me wrong. But our weakness always will be our weakness. We need to make time, even more time, to work in our strength, because that is what's going to take us to the promised land. Not the weaknesses. The weaknesses we can get better, but the strength, our power, is the one to take us to the promised land.
那你在球员的生涯中可能会遇到很多挫折，但是也许把自己的弱点去改进是一个值得去花一点时间，但是你的强项的确是让你怎么达到那个舞台，然后怎么延续到达成你的梦想。所以他自己所分享是每个人所赋予的天分，从神或是你的来源的确一定够，但是你一定要去精进你的优势。
So in 97, I was struggling trying to close games. And thank God for my manager and my pitching coach. They were able to say something that clicked. And I was able to continue doing what I was supposed to do. But that easily could have been wrong and took me to the negative way or negative side.
那刚好在1997年，他的总教练跟投手的教练有给他的建议，给他的鼓励，是让他想去正面的地方，因为也很有可能想到负面的地方，就一直走到失败的路上。
That was my greatest blessing, but also I have to make sure that I trusted, otherwise I would have been lost.
那他当然某方面是有点运气，但是就是坚持在所给予的一些建议跟指示跟自己的坚持，就终于达到他想要的目标跟成果。
So when you have adversities, because adversities will come, it's not like if they come. No, they are going to come. So when they come, we just have to be able to find the positive in the negative situation. For example, when I lost a game, I was pitching and that night wasn't my night. I always ask myself these two questions, that I was ready physically and mentally, and I gave my all. If those questions, the answer was yes, well, the process was just a learning process, something that I had to learn and continue moving forward. So that those things we have to understand, that when we play or we are in business or whatever, a tough time is going to come, but we have to learn from that. Okay, we don't have to see I'm a loser, or I can't do this. No, it's something that we need to learn and be positive, saying that I'm going to be overcomer of this situation.
那他说，在球员的生涯其实跟人生一样，一定会遇到挫折。那 你的遇到挫折或失败的情况上，就是他自己会问自己，在投手球上，我有没有做好心理跟身体的准备？然后2，你有没有完全全力的去当一个竞争者？那如果你2个都回答是的话，那你就是把这个失败的经验当做一个学习的经验。那不管在棒球或是自己人生中，可以有这个心态去面对，然后继续前进。